Hello everybody and welcome back. Another week has come and gone, and I've done a lot of work since this board here arrived, and just for a short recap, I was pretty sure that all of the circuit diagrams, the wiring would be kind of correct, up to one piece that I knew was wrong, and so I put together this board and I showed it off last week, and yeah, it's been going along quite well. When I started out with the first board, I made sure that the communication was working, that keyboard input got to the Arduino, that the Arduino could communicate it to the main Teensy, and that there was a connection between the main Teensy and the second Teensy. And the second board was all about getting the audio output dialed in, and I realized I did some, well, unnecessary mistakes on that, but the last week was mostly focused on software, and well, let me show you. So here we've got our PS2 keyboard. Here we have the microME, and it's completely hooked up. It's got power, it's got keyboard, and it's got the VGA output, and it's got nothing more than that. And I've got my El Cheapo little monitor over here, and so let's turn it on. So first thing we get is a nice little welcome message. It's pretty simple right now. Basically, the keyboard is working, so I can type. This is working as well as I can expect it to work. I have a few simple communication things that are required to make this work, which is the interrupt driver on the Teensy, the keyboard code on the Arduino, and well, the wiring needs to be correct, and the level shifting must be in place, and that is looking pretty well. I do have a simple shell running on here, so I can press enter and it'll go to the next line. Simple things like that. I've also invested some time in getting interpretive language running on here, and I chose MUSL, which is short for marginally useful scripting language, and that in itself is pretty useful. It's not by margin a long way, so that is really well, because it is really easy to port, and it is very well contained, and it just worked out fine. I did have some memory issues, but I figured those out along the way. So now I can do this. I can do a print, let's say 500 times 10, and it'll tell me 5,000. So the interpreter is working. I've even got the simple editing running, so I can do a 10 print hello, that is wrong. Go to 10. Simplest program in the world, and I can type list and I'll get the program back, and I can type run and it's just going to run it. I've even gone the way of making sure that I can stop it with Control-C, and basically that is about as far as I got within this week. I've also done more investigation about getting the the two Teensies talking to each other, and I've got a short demo for that. For that, we could just type music, and let's hear in. So that is also it. So the music is being played on the second Teensy, which is running Teensy Reset from the first Teensy. The second Teensy also has some other jobs to do, like talking to the SD card, which I've established it works, but I haven't got the three talking to each other yet. That is still to come. I've also not been able to get the Wi-Fi working. I've established that they're talking to each other, but I would need a lot of code on the second Teensy just to make sure that this would be usable from the basic in here. But apart from that, this is how far I got in this week, which is pretty amazing. I was not counting that would happen. So it's already simple, and the power button is pretty nice because you can reset everything quite easily. Regarding memory, I've got about 64K for the basic text, and I have another 64K for the basic interpreter, so programs can be quite large. The frame buffer itself is consuming about 104 kilobytes of memory, which is 400 something by 240 with 8 bits per pixel. That is also quite enough, I think, and it's really speedy too. So that's about it, what I can show up to today. I want to keep this video short. I will continue where I'm at right now. I want to get more hardware supported from the main Teensy, and I want to drive the hardware support to a way that it becomes usable inside the basic interpreter. And once I have that, I want to go ahead and get the SD card running. I do have two in here, so I can have basically an expansion in the micro SD here, and I can basically have takeaway code, programs, whatever, on the SD card that faces the front. And I think if both of them work, that would be really good, and it would make it really useful. Yeah, so that's what I have to show for right now. And I'm going to keep working and report back in a week or so. Thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.